All right, I know I said this video was all about Illustrator, but first I want to show why I prefer to use it for line weights. Theoretically, you can do this in Rhino, but it is not as cooperative as I would want it to be. So I'm just going to take a look here. We'll do the curves for tabletops. And I'm just going to come over and click on default here. And you can see this is what a curve for the tabletop would be, this edge. And so right now I'm going to switch it to the thickest one. Nothing changes. I'm going to come in here. Let's go with 10. Let's see if that gives us any visual indication. Nothing is changing. Come into 25. Nothing is visually changing. So it's easier for me when I can see what I'm trying to do, update in real time, and rather than fuss around with this, I'd rather do all this work in Illustrator. So let me, here we go. I'm going to come into this file. This is the one I just exported. And Illustrator, like all Adobe products, takes a while to get used to. So right now you can see, because we did the sample, it's kind of tiny. And if I use my Alt scroll to zoom in, things look really weird. So we want to make all of this stuff we imported bigger. But before I do any of that, the first thing I want to do is edit my artboard. So I'm going to click Edit Artboards. And just like before, I'm going to start with the correct ratio. So I'm going to make it 17 inches. Well, by 11. And now we'll see what happens if I stretch all of that. My scroll is being a little finicky, but so if I come up here now, oh yeah, this is, give me just a sec. All right, so if I come up here to select and say all, now all this is active, and I can try and drag. Select all. Now it's just this. Why is it moving the whole thing? Hang on just a sec here. Maybe it thinks I'm still working on the artboard. So I'm just going to click anywhere else so it knows I'm done. Select all, and now it's just these. Great. So I can drag this down to the bottom. I'm going to actually click undo because I want to hold shift while I'm doing that so I don't accidentally change the scale of anything. And the nice part about Illustrator and other Adobe products is it will automatically stretch things beyond, so I don't have to, if I'm going beyond my visible screen, I don't have to scroll. It will automatically do that for me. So now it's 11 by 17. Let's see if that looks any better when I zoom in. Definitely better, but still probably not quite the level of detail we want. So I'm going to scroll out again. Sorry for the delay. Apparently I need more memory. So now I'm going to edit the artboard again. I've got this. I want to keep the aspect ratio. So I'm going to click this, maintain height width. And rather than do 17-inch increments, it's really easy to do 11s, right? So I'm going to try and see what 66 looks like. And so now that automatically updates my other one. And now I'm going to go through the same process. I'm going to stretch out my art or my object. So I'm going to say select all, and I'm going to hold shift to make sure it still thinks I'm doing something else. All right, select all. Here we go. Hold shift so I don't lose my aspect ratio. I'm going to drag my corners. All right, now if I zoom in, I'm going to have a lot finer detail to work with. You can see how much better those lines look. So here's where things get a lot easier. I'm going to come into my layers, and you'll see it's maintained all of this. And if I say my priority as far as visual hierarchy is the tabletop, I'm going to look for my visible curves for the tabletop. And here we go, curves tabletop. I can click on this box. Now if I click this triple dots here and say show properties, I can change the color. So all these will become black. If you're not seeing this, you can just come into your color mixer, and there's usually a default right here, black. And now I can change the line weight. So let's just say we want something like 8. So now all of my tabletops update to be thicker and a different color. I can come back. Let's stick with tabletop. Now let's say I want to do my silhouettes next. So let's find my silhouette tabletop. I'm going to do the same thing. I'm going to click here, show properties. I'm going to make it black. And now I'm going to really emphasize these because this is what Rhino thinks is your edges, and a lot of times what you're highlighting are the parts that touch air. Like I said in class, everything on this touches air, so we have to come up with another decision on what gets visual hierarchy. I'm going to say 12 on this. Now we've got that. And if there's something you want to duplicate, like if I decide my frames and my legs have the same visual hierarchy, I can just do that all at once. So I go back to my layers. So these are 8 and 10. I'm going to come in to my visual lines. And again, I'm going to kind of find my curves for my legs. And if I hold shift, I can find my curves for my frame. I want to undo this one though. Yeah, I just want to hold actually control to do if I'm skipping one. Now same thing, I'm going to come in here, show the properties panel. I'm going to make the stroke black. And I'm going to change this to, if I did 8 on the other, I'll just do 4 here. No fill. And that should update. Let's see, did it? There we go. Now everything's updated. We're still seeing some color here because we still have tangents. We still have hidden lines and other objects. I think that's enough of that process to give you an idea of what's going on. You've got your hidden lines. You can adjust those as needed. I'm going to show you one other thing and then I'm going to stop the video. If we want to do those dashed lines showing the connections from the bolt to the edge or from this leg up here, the easiest thing to do. I'm going to hope my scroll wheel does not go too crazy this time. Alright, so if I come over to this pen tool right here, I can click on it. I can find the edge of this bolt. And I might have to scroll in a little more and hope it plays nice. So it will find the midpoint here. I don't need to just come to the edge. I can find the center of this bolt. And I can scroll out. And I can come right towards this area. And when I click on it, right now it's a solid line. But I can open up the properties again. And I can change this to something a little more mellow, like 2 points. And if I click on stroke itself, you can see this is dashed line option. And now I can say I want that to be 12 with a gap of 6. See how that looks. No, maybe I want a 6 and a 6. That's a little better. And whatever color you choose for your hidden lines, I would stick with a different color here so that it's less confusing. I'd probably go with a gray on these hidden lines and then keep a black here. And just play around with it, play around with the thickness, play around with your dashes. So again, your thickness is right here. Let's see what it looks like at one point. That's not bad. And maybe I really want these small. Let's see what 2 and 2 looks like. Yeah, no, I don't like that. So, yeah, whatever you like, go for it. I'm going to stick with 6 and 6 on this one. I think it looks a lot better. So now I've addressed a lot quicker and a lot more consistently in Illustrator what can feel extremely frustrating in Rhino to accomplish.